What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Career Mode. This is episode number 10. And we're starting to do some stuff on the back of our 2-1 loss to Brentford with our final fixtures coming here in May. 2 home games, 2 away games in that order. First the Magpies and the Gunners, and then the Foxes and the Seagulls. And as we know now, despite the loss to Brentford, we are safe in the Premier League for another season with the Toffees. It's been a really poor run of form again. I think it's just been 1 win in our last 7 in all competitions. Yeah, it's been a really poor run of form, and I said it in the last episode, we're kind of stumbling over the line, sort of just crawling over the line, but do you know what? It doesn't matter how you get over the line, as long as you do. Yeah, we're safe in the Premier League for another season, and that win against West Ham, like I said after we got it, basically all but confirmed it. But again, that has been our only win in like the last 7 in all competitions. We've now been knocked out of the FA Cup in the semi-finals in painful, heartbreaking, controversial fashion to Liverpool, our Merseyside rivals, where I was fuming. I was sour grapes in the post-match interview, saying where on earth did those final minutes come from in stoppage time? Referee, what were you doing? Why was the game still allowed to be played after we cleared that corner? Let it go. Let it go, Doxy boy. You were the worst team and you're probably going to lose anyway. Let it go. You bottled it. Let it go. So after that, and then the loss to Brentford, I was thinking, right, let's just respond here, shall we? 2 more games at Goodison. Let's get at least 1 or 2 more wins between now and the end of the season and get to the magic 40-point total, shall we? Yeah? Well, first game did not go according to plan at all. Eddie Howe's Magpies coming to Goodison, brushes aside 2-0, and it's now 3 losses in a row in all competitions. And, I said we stumbled over the line. It's a bloody good thing we have, because I've been absolutely atrocious. What's this now? 1 win in 8 in all competitions? Absolutely awful. I'm all over the place right now. So, following game, Arsenal, Mikel Arteta's side, and by their high standards this season in the save, they've been poor. And they're going to miss out of European place altogether, it seems. Now, they are going to be in Europe next season because they won the Carabao Cup regardless. I'll show you the full Cup winners come the end of today's episode, as always, in the season finale. But domestically in the league, they've been really poor. I think they're in 9th place right now. So I'm thinking, okay, final game at Goodison. Really poor run of form. We haven't won here at home. God, do you know, I genuinely can't remember. Aston Villa? Back in March? I can't remember. It's been a while anyway, so I was thinking, come on, man. Come on, let's get the win here against an underperforming Arsenal side. Oh, God. Everton fans know this saying all too well. When it rains, it pours at Goodison Park. Man, oh, man. We're all over the place. Thank God we've survived with a few games to go, because this sort of form is relegation form. Yeah, we hit the woodwork. We were quite unlucky in this game, to be fair, don't get me wrong. And then late on, Michaelenko dropped a clanger. Gave the ball away in my own half, and then he gave the penalty away as well. Yeah, the Ukrainian's been pretty solid for me this year, but that was a moment of madness. I don't know what I was doing the left back there, but it wasn't anything good. Yeah, Gabriel Jesus converts the penalty after Michaelenko brought, I think it was Saka down, as the Gunners win it in stoppage time with a final kick, and that's how we bow out of Goodison Park. With 3 straight losses. That's how we say farewell to the home fans this year, with 3 straight losses to Brentford, Arsenal and Newcastle. Yeah, it's not been a great season, I'll be honest. I knew the first season was going to be tough, don't get me wrong, but it's not been great. Okay, yeah, we've survived. That was our sole priority. Yes, we got to Wembley, FA Cup semis as well, but don't let that distract you from the fact it has still been, a pretty poor season, no matter how you look at it, and a very tough one as well. So, following game, penultimate game of the season, away against Leicester at the King Power, taking on Brendan Rodgers' side, the Foxes here, right next to us in the table. I was thinking, come on, let's get back to winning ways here, shall we? Oh my goodness, fell behind late on through Harvey Barnes, he makes it 1-0, and then Mavididi was denied by Danny Ward, and this guy just can't catch a break. Constantly in the woodwork or denied on one-on-ones. This guy cannot catch a break. From the corner, Damari Gray, former Fox, does whip it in, and James Tarkowski, the former Claret, gets his 2nd of the season. Both from corners, headed in, both levellers. in draws. Yep, James Tarkowski rescues us a point for the second time this season. I should not be saying that sentence. That's how you know it's been a tough season, when I've said this twice. James Tarkowski has rescued me a draw. I've said that twice this season now. That's embarrassing. It's been such a tough season, but you know what? I knew it was going to be one. I knew it was going to be a tough season this year. It's been an awful run to end the season off as well. Again, I think just one win in our last 9 in all competitions. Absolutely atrocious run of form to end the season. And Mavididi cannot catch a break. This dude is always hitting the woodwork or having a one-on-one save. Because for our final game against Brighton, that's how we start off. First he hits the woodwork and then he's cut back to DCL. Somehow he's put wide of the post for our number 9. It's still 0-0 and I was thinking, can we just get the season over with now? Can we just get this over with? We're safe. Let's just end it now. I'm sick of this. It's been a terrible, terrible end to the season for Everton. Let's just wrap this up and get ourselves over to the summer break. Thankfully, whilst we would hit the woodwork once again 10 minutes after the restart, this time we get a kind ricochet and it drops into the back of the net. Calvert-Lewin makes amends after he missed a sitter in the first half, gets his 9th of the season. This is how you know it's been a bad season, when you haven't got a single player in double digits for scoring. He's my top scorer with 9. I haven't had a single player getting double digits in the league this year. He's my top scorer with 9. That's so bad. But in the end, his 9th of the year proved to be a winner. And finally, Everton win a game. Everton have won a football game. We win. We get the goal to nil scoreline and we at least close the season out with something to celebrate. A 1-0 win on the final day. So final league table, Man City champions, Liverpool, Chelsea and the Red Devils in the top 4, Spurs 5th, Aston Villa and West Ham 6th and 7th, Newcastle 8th. Again, Arsenal, poor season for them, 9th, and Wolves wrap up the top 10. For us though, 14th place, 43 points on the board. As you see Bournemouth, Forest and Brentford going down. Southampton surviving on the final day on goals scored. Goals scored. I think it's the first time I've ever seen that. Survival on goals scored. But for us this year, 14th place. 12 points clear of Brentford in 18th place. So safe comfortably in the end. But the big problem was scoring goals, man. Again, I mentioned it there as Haaland won the Golden Boot this year. Erling Haaland had over half the goals we scored all season long as a whole team. Yeah, he scored 24 this year to win the Golden Boot. DCL was my top scorer with 9. That tells you the whole story this year. Only 40 goals all season long. Defensively, to be fair, we kept a lot of clean sheets. 11 in the season. Pickford second in the top clean sheets charts this year. So defensively, we did alright. Like, we did okay. We certainly could have improved. 54 goals conceded. It could have been a hell of a lot worse. But the main problem this year was on the offensive end. Again, my top scorer had 9 goals. Let me say that again. My top scorer had 9 goals. That is pathetic. So obviously that needs to be improved on for next year. No doubt about it. And only 40 goals in the season. One of the lowest scorers in the league. That's what I need to address for next season. So you see here, the Europa Conference League winners Villarreal. Fenerbahce won the Europa League this year as well. Again, Liverpool won the FA Cup. So as I always say, there's no shame in getting knocked out by the winners. That's how it ended up being in the end, as they won the FA Cup. Arsenal, mentioned earlier, they won the Carabao Cup this year. And Chelsea beat Real Madrid to claim their 3rd Champions League in history as well. Graham Potter's done quite well. So, yep, as you can see, the season comes to an end here, and the final thing I'll show you is the squad report as I run you through the team here. I've got to say, no doubt about it, we need to improve. Like, no doubt about it, we've got to improve. And look, there's some quality here, and there's some decent young players. You know, Pickford grew 2 ratings this year. I'd say he was my best player this year. Michaelenko, for the most part, was pretty solid. Pretty solid indeed. He grew 4 ratings to 80 overall. Ben Godfrey also up to 80 overall as well. Staple of my backline this year. One of my most consistent centre-halves in this team. You know, you'll see there's some decent growth from the likes of Amadou Onana. Nathan Patterson grew 5 up to 74 rated this year. Still one of our best prospects. But I've got to say, the signing of Matt Doherty proved to be a brilliant piece of business in the end. Okay, fair enough. You look at the stats there. Only 2 clean sheets in 14 Premier League games. It's not great, but to be fair, a few of those Premier League games were with Spurs, and I think the 2 clean sheets he got were both of us. So he he didn't do too bad. I think coming in for 6.25 mil, he really helped us plug the gaps. We conceded a lot of goals in the first half of the season, nowhere near as many in the second. We were much better defensively in the second half of the season. I think the Orion and Matt Doherty made a big difference. Mavididi didn't get too much out of him, to be fair. He was very unlucky though for the most part. But I thought Damari Gray, again, probably my second best player this season. And if not, then definitely this guy, Amadou Onana, 4 ratings, 79 overall this year. He was brilliant, man. Honestly, really solid. A great box-to-box player and gave me solid minutes this year. But for the most part, definitely I got to say moving forward, I think Neil Maupay probably going to cash in next season. We know Dan Juma's going to go, and as I promised, he'd only played the games he played at the start of the season. I didn't play him any more times than that. But we're getting Moise Kean back from Juve next year. I don't know whether I'll keep him. Realistically, I'm not sure it is realistic. I'm not too sure. I'll have to have a think about it. But DCL, again, 11 goals in all competitions, but only 9 in the Premier League. For next season, there's no doubt about it. I need a new striker, and I need better midfielders as well. You'll see the list of players and the deals are coming at the end of the year here. There's some good names as well. Yerry Mina, Andros Townsend. We know Doucouré's going to Newcastle as well. But we are going to get rid of some of the deadwood. And in the summer, there's no doubt about it, this Everton team needs a proper clear out and a proper rebuild. And I'm looking forward to the challenge of reinventing and rebuilding this Everton team next transfer window. But that will end this episode and the season finale of the Realistic Rumor, guys. So big thank you for watching. Enjoyed it. From like most of you all, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you at the start of season 2, where the rebuild will definitely begin with Everton very soon.